Hi everyone, I am going to show you how to get started on WordPress today. Over the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you how to create your site, how to select and change the themes and do some basic visual editing, and then also how to make your first post. So the first thing you're going to do is go to wordpress.com, and then you will click the Get Started button down at the bottom. Then it's time to decide what you want to call your site. Today I was feeling inspired to create a portfolio site embodying one of my favorite characters of all time, Leslie Knope. And so if you know anything about Leslie Knope, you know that she cares deeply about waffles and making the world a better place. So I decided that I would call my Leslie Knope e-portfolio Waffles and World Peace. And then you also want to think about what your site is going to be about. So you might put that it's going to be about photography and high school, or it could be about skateboarding and learning, or thinking about some of the hobbies that you have and how you might include them in this site, and also how this might capture some of the learning that you're going to do while you're in high school. You will want to check the box at the bottom that says this site will be used to showcase your portfolio. And then you want to click how comfortable you are creating a website. I selected 3 because I feel like I kind of know how to do it, but I'm not an expert. And then you'll click continue down at the bottom. WordPress is going to help you pick out a URL for your site. So I put in Knope for Pawnee, and thankfully there are no other accounts that are using Knope for Pawnee as their account name. So I can have that at nopeforpawnee.wordpress.com for free without having to pay for any of the premium services. If your site name is already taken, WordPress is going to automatically put numbers at the end of it. So if you're John Smith, it's going to be John Smith 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can use that if you would like. If you would rather have something that doesn't have all the numbers at the end of it, you'll have to be creative with what you decide to title your site. This is also the first time you really want to think about your privacy as we go through this process and what you want to name your site. If you decide to name your site with your first and last name, it will be easier for people to find your site by searching your name on Google. So if you are more concerned about protecting your privacy right now, you might want to consider not using your first and last name and maybe using only your first name or only your last name or something else entirely. So once you have figured out a good address for your site, you'll go ahead and select the free URL. And then there are so many options with WordPress. You guys can opt for premium and more advanced sites if you decide that you really love WordPress and you want to use some of the premium features that are not available for free. But for right now, we're just going to start with a free site, and you can always upgrade later if you want to have access to some of those more advanced features. You then are going to create your account, and this is how you log in. And what we would like all of you to do is to continue with Google down at the bottom, rather than putting in your email address and choosing a username and a password. This will make it easier for you to log back in the future and not have to remember your username and password and then reset it if you forget it. So continue with Google. It might ask you to authorize or to choose an account if you have different email addresses logged in. So again, choose your school account and then continue. And then your site is live and it's ready to be edited. So we will go ahead and jump in and move on to how to do the basic visual editing and make your site look the way you want it to look. So when you open your site, it will default into a template of some sort, and chances are it's not gonna look aesthetically the way that you want it to look. So you're gonna wanna go up to the My Sites button up in the top left-hand corner. And from there, you can select the Themes option to change the theme of the site. And then you can scroll through the pages and pages of themes that are available to you. You'll notice as you scroll that some of them are only for paid subscription accounts. So if you really like the photo blog, that one might charge you extra if you don't already have a premium account. So you'll want to make sure that you're only looking at the free sites. Since I am relatively new to WordPress, I am going to only look at the beginner sites because I don't think that I'm ready for the advanced features yet. If you are a website pro and you feel ready to move on to something that's a little more advanced to edit, then by all means choose whatever it is that you feel comfortable working with. But if you're new and you're not sure how to use it, look for one of the sites that has the little green beginner tag on it to get started. I really like the Radcliffe 2. It's a simple design. There's a place to put a logo. There's a spot for images. So I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to click on Radcliffe 2. And then I'm going to say to activate this design, and again, I'm confirming that this is free. And then it'll allow me to customize the site. So one of the great things about WordPress is that it allows you to customize pretty much everything on your site. Once you click customize, it's going to give you a new menu bar over to the left-hand side. And to change the font and to change the title and to add logos, you're going to click on the site and identity. And from there, you can change the title of your site, the tagline, you can upload an image or a graphic or some type of logo that represents you or what your site will be. For the sites that you guys are creating today, we would like for you all to use your name as the site title. And we'll talk about how you can protect your privacy in a few minutes and make it so that it's harder or easier for people to find your site. But for the purpose of this being a portfolio that other people will use to look at the work that you've done, we want to make sure that your first name is used as the site title. And then your tagline can be something fun, and it can be something that shows your personality and gives people a sense of what they're going to see on this site. Now, this is your personal site. You can use it for things other than school posts. We really hope that you use it for things other than school posts. But because this is going to be a place where you showcase work that you have done and hobbies that you might have and things that you're proud of, we want to make sure that we're keeping it somewhat professional and that whatever you decide to use as your tagline or your name for your site will give people a positive impression of you. So really be thinking about what image you're trying to project to the world and how you can show your personality while also projecting the image that you want people to have. So I used an image from the Parks and Rec department, and again, I use my Waffles and World Peace tagline because I feel like that perfectly summarizes Leslie Knope and gives people a sense of who she is and what she's about. When you're done with that, you can click through some of the other options off to the side. I want to point out that there is one for contact info, and if you were to click on that, it would provide spaces for you to put in your phone number, your address, etc. At this point, we would like you to not put in any of that contact information. If someone wants to contact you through your site, there are options where they can email you or they can send you a message or post on a board, but you should not be posting your home address or your personal cell phone or your email. If you want to use the school address, that's fine, and the school phone number for people to contact you, but for now, it would be best if you just left that category blank, and if people want to contact you, they can always do so digitally through the messaging part of your site. We also want to point out that from here you can go in and change colors and backgrounds, you can change the font, you can go into what's called the style pack, which just lets you customize within the theme that you have. So I have 3 different options available to me. One of them highlights in red, one of them highlights in gray, and so I just picked the one that had the font I like the best. And then when you're done playing with all of those options off to the left, you're going to say publish to save everything that you've done, and you're going to exit out of this to take you back to your site, and it'll give you a little preview of what your new design looks like. So here is my site. I have it zoomed out so I can show you the whole page at one time. As you will see, all of your sites, when you create them, they automatically post one new post for you that says something like getting started or the journey begins. And all you have to do to change that and to make it an actual post of something you want to share is to find the little edit button that is next to your post. So I hit edit, and from here it allows me to add or to change an image. I can type up a paragraph or some short text about what I'm posting. I can add more pictures by clicking the add button. I can add other media like videos and audio and things like that. But this is where you're actually going to upload the photos of the projects that you've worked on, or maybe photos from your interim trip to talk about that experience, or you might write something up to describe your experience as well. So when you're done with your text and your images and whatever other media you want to add. You'll go ahead and click Update in the top right-hand corner and it will post it for you. Moving forward, if you ever want to make a new post, all you have to do is click Write up in the top right-hand corner and it will take you back to that menu where you can make a fresh post from scratch. The last thing I want to show you before we are done is I want you to go back to that My Sites menu up in the top left-hand corner. And from there, I want you to scroll down until you see Settings, and then I want you to look at the Privacy settings. And you have a choice to make. You can make this site public, so it's visible to everyone, and it may be indexed by search engines. So if someone were to search waffles and world peace, my portfolio site might come up as one of those search engine options. You can also make the site hidden, which means that it's visible to everyone and I can send people links and I can invite them and they can search and find it, but they can't search my name and it won't necessarily be indexed by like Google or Yahoo or the other major search engines. And then the third option is to make your site private where only you can see it and anyone else that you invite or approve to see your site. So you would have to intentionally invite people to look at your work. So it's up to you what you choose for your privacy settings. Know that we want to see your sites, and so we will ask that you share it with your advisor and maybe some other people at school, like a teacher might want to see it, and they would ask to see to receive an invitation to see your site. But other than that, we want you guys to pick a privacy setting that feels comfortable for you at this time. So those are the basics. I hope that you have created your site. I hope that you now have some basic understanding of how to play with the visuals and that you go back and spend more time and customize everything so that it really expresses your personality and your interests as well. And if you have any questions, you can always ask your advisor or you can ask some of the other students because many of our Mount Vernon students already have set up WordPress sites and they have more experience playing with these. So ask a friend because they might know how to do this. And be sure to watch the other video that I have provided that shows you how some of the other Mount Vernon students have set up their sites, how they manage them, how they use them, how they decide what to post, and how they really play with the visuals to make their site communicate what it is that they want to share with people. So I hope this has been helpful and let me know if you have any questions.